Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. It's eviction day. I feel like we've been waiting forever to get to another eviction day, and I think part of that has to do with last week being like the weird zombie week. But anyway, we're here. It is the last eviction before the jury starts. Hallelujah. Okay. Our house guest of the day is Catherine B. Thank you so much, Catherine, for being so amazing. We totally appreciate your support and your friendship over the years. So thank you so much. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. And before we get started, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's another fantastic way to support our work. Wendy Will, Richard L, Laura Dalton, Jack D65, and Natalie K. Thank you so much for your super chats. All right. We have some things to discuss. Yesterday was a crazy update, right? We had a flip in the works, and the flip is still on. Felicia and Mimi are up on the block, right? And Felicia was Cameron's initial target this week. He does not want Felicia on the jury, in the jury house, all that. So, that being said, Corey was starting to really push for Mimi to go. This seems like a bad move for Corey. I don't know. Like for me, I don't think it's a good move for Corey. Mimi would probably be better for his game, right? She's not really targeting him at the moment, but he is terrified that Mimi is getting closer to Blue. And he knows that Blue is after his ass. So yeah, he is thinking, maybe I should get Mimi out of here. And he's telling everybody this has to be a blindside on Cirie and Blue. He's telling Jag and Matt, if we make this vote a blindside, maybe Felicia will be pissed enough at Cirie and Blue for voting against her that if she wins HOH, she'd put up Cirie and Blue instead of Corey and America. I don't see Felicia putting up Cirie. Like, what? But anyway, I mean, who else does she have at this point, right? So the real reason that Corey desperately wants this vote to be a blindside is because he wants Blue to be upset with Matt and Jag, right? Because he sees Blue has a much better relationship with Matt and Jag than she has with him. He's terrified that Blue is going to win HOH and target him. So he will do anything he can to try and get Blue targeting somebody else. So Jag, Matt, and Cameron see through what Corey is doing. They know that Corey is trying to make them look bad with this blindside, get their allies upset with them. And they feel like it's really a selfish move just to benefit Corey's game. And as we've seen, if there's one thing that Jag and Matt hate in this game, it's when people make it obvious that they are doing something for their own best interests, which they do all the time, right? But if somebody is like making it obvious that they're doing it, And of course, the second thing that they hate most in this game, they don't want to be doing other people's dirty work. So they're like, I don't know about this move. I don't know about Corey wanting to evict Mimi instead. However, Jag and Matt were thinking yesterday after Felicia was going around doing her campaigning, Jag and Matt were thinking, you know what? It probably would be better for our games to keep Felicia and for Mimi to go. Felicia is clearly targeting Corey, America, and Cameron, whereas Mimi is a wild card, right? She does not make it known who she's targeting. No one knows who she would put up on the block. Before she was saying Matt and Jag, but that was a while ago, so who knows if she's actually going to do that. So they don't know what she would do. Plus, Mimi is way more likely to win competitions than Felicia. So they're like, you know what? Maybe we should get rid of Mimi, but not make it a blindside, right? They don't want to do that blindside crap. They agree in order to pull this off, they would have to get Cameron on board with this. They do not want to go against him this week. They don't want to lose him as an ally. And let's face it, Cameron has been solid all week about wanting Felicia out, except for when he was this close to backdooring Corey. But when it comes to Felicia versus Mimi, he's been wanting Felicia out. He does not want her on the jury. So Matt and Jag tried planting some seeds with Cameron. They were spilling how Corey told them that Mimi promised if she wins HOH, she would not put Corey up on the block. So they're like, ooh, that's not good, right? Mimi is not targeting Corey. So who does that leave for her to come after? The three of us. That didn't seem to work with Cameron. That didn't really resonate with him that much. And in turn, Cameron was saying, I want to let Cirie and Blue know that Corey is trying to flip the vote and leave them out of it, right? He wants them to be blindsided by the vote. He's hoping, well, first of all, that Cirie and Blue will be pissed at Corey and want to target him. But he's also hoping that this information will get back to Mimi, and she will also want to target Corey going into next week. Jag doesn't want this. Jag is pushing back against this because he's like, if Corey finds out, which he will, that we spilled this, Corey and America are not going to want to work with us anymore. We're going to lose them, right? So then Jag tries a new angle with Cameron. Let's go along with what Corey wants and vote out Mimi. And he says Corey is going to look like a fool because Felicia is targeting him, right? Corey is trying to keep the person who put him on blast publicly during the POV ceremony. Corey is overplaying right now, right? He's doing the most, and he's going to be sorry when he keeps Felicia and then Felicia targets him. So Jag is also saying we'll blame the whole flip on Corey. Everyone's going to be targeting him next week instead of us. All of our bases are going to be covered. Now, this is a lot more appealing to Cameron. All he had to hear was like, Corey's going to look like a fool. Cameron loves this. Cameron is now on board to get rid of Mimi and keep Felicia. Suddenly, Cameron is not too worried about Felicia being on the jury anymore. So, all right. Meanwhile, while they were discussing flipping this vote to keep Felicia, Matt the Rat is talking to Cirie and Blue in the comics bedroom. And Matt's planting some seeds here. This is pretty much the first inkling for Cirie and Blue that something is changing up with this vote. And Matt's like, yeah, it doesn't really matter to my game who goes this week. But other people seem really worried about it. And Blue's like, wait, would anyone want to go against Cameron, though? Because, like, he's going to be really pissed if we don't do what he wants and vote out Felicia. Blue wants Mimi to stay. And Blue says, again, like, if Felicia stays, Cameron's going to be pissed. So Matt is like, well, Cameron can't play for HOH next week, so too bad. Also, this isn't let's make Cam's perfect dream jury. I love that line. This is something that he and Jag had discussed prior as a way to convince Cirie and Blue to get on board with this, really playing up like, why are we doing Cameron's dirty work? Why are we doing what he wants? So Matt says that Cameron wants Felicia out because he doesn't think that he's going to get her jury vote. But Matt says, I mean, other people are thinking about it differently and realizing, well, if he's not getting Felicia's jury vote, I might. So people are weighing their options right now. So Blue's playing it cool at first. She's like, as long as it's not me, I don't care. And Matt agrees. So Matt says also people are kind of scared of Mimi at this point because they don't know who she would put up if she wins HOH. That's scary. And he thinks that Felicia and Mimi would probably do the same thing, but as everyone has discussed all week, Mimi is much more likely to win competitions than Felicia. Okay, so Cirie and Blue are now aware that this vote is not set, right? There's a lot of scrambling going on that they were not aware of. So Cirie's like, all right, please just tell me which way to vote on Thursday. I don't want to be on the wrong side of this. And Matt's like, yeah, I don't know which way it's going right now, but I will let you know ahead of time. Okay. So a little later, Cirie checks in with Corey in America. And Corey says, well, Felicia and Mimi, they're both campaigning. They're both coming to me. But he says, as far as I know, Felicia is still going. And Cirie asks, is that for real, for real? Not for real, for real. America says that's also what I've been hearing, that Felicia is still going. That's a lie. And, I mean, it wasn't, like, set at this point, but they're not letting on even that there's, like, discussion about it. So Cirie is like, please just tell me which way to vote. Corey says, if the vote was right now, he would be voting out Felicia. Liar! He says, none of us will be on the wrong side of the vote. Don't worry. There are going to be so many conversations about this leading up to it. No one's going to be left behind here. And he says, honestly, it felt pretty straightforward up until today. And he says, I don't know what changed. I don't know. Maybe it was you pushing really hard for me to go. But he says, there's just too much time in here. People get bored and they start talking about different possibilities. Well, I think that is part of it. right? Anyway, Corey's asking Suri, like, what have things changed for you? Like, what's going on? Why are you like asking about this? And Suri says, they have not changed for me, but I am hearing that things may have changed. Because again, Matt clued her and Blue in. So she says, I just want someone to tell me what to do. Suri has really been taking kind of more of a backseat role at this point since Jared has gone. I think she'll get back in the mix soon, but right now she's kind of just like laying low, right? Corey says, everyone's just waiting for someone to make a definitive decision. And he says, that's not going to be me. I'm not going to be making that decision this week. Okay. So then Corey, Jag, Matt, and Cameron are in the HOH room. And Cameron's asking Corey, could you please talk me through the pros and cons again for this vote? Now, this is all a show on Cameron's part, right? Cameron is already on board with Mimi leaving this week, right? Changing his plans and getting rid of Mimi. But they want Corey to think that he is convincing all of them right now that that's what they should do. So Corey makes his presentation. It's a lot of the same stuff that we've already been hearing. You know, either Mimi or Felicia winning HOH would be bad for them. There's a good chance that one of them would be the target. But again, Mimi is much more likely to win HOH. She is a much better competitor, so that's scary. Corey also brings up that Mimi has a closer relationship with Suri and Blue than Felicia does. So if they get rid of Mimi, they're going to sever that whole thing. Also, Corey says if Felicia stays and Blue wins HOH, maybe Blue puts up Felicia as one of her nominees instead of two of them, right? Maybe it would be one of them up with Felicia instead of just straight up two of them up there. What? I don't see Blue putting up Felicia in that situation, but if that's what you want to think. Corey's asking Cameron, how big of a concern is the jury stuff for you? I know that was a big point earlier in the week. You didn't want Felicia on the jury. And Cameron's like, everything that you're saying is just making more and more sense to me. Stroke that ego. And he's like, I'm putting less stock into the jury mindset and I'm with it, right? He's on board. He's on board to send Mimi out. So then America joins them. Cameron again is saying, I'm in for the flip. He starts praising Corey. He's like, oh, Corey, he just made some great points. You know, he went and he cooked his buttered noodles. And when he came back, he made these points to us and they're wonderful. He's really laying it on thick. But they all agree. This group, they are on board to vote out Mimi. They have the votes to pull it off. They only need 4. And now they're trying to figure out, how do we tell Blue, Suri, and Bowie about this? Because they don't want to do the blind side, right? Jag is very anti-blind side. And they're agreeing no one is going to be left out of this vote. Also, they do want to tell Mimi ahead of time that she's going. They're thinking maybe they'll wait till like Thursday morning or something. We'll see. All right. So, whoa, this flip is going to happen. So then after this conversation, Corey and America leave the room. Matt, Jag, and Cameron are all like, ooh, it's working. It's happening. So Matt is asking, should we let Suri and Blue know that Corey wanted to blindside them with this vote? You know Matt is chomping at the bit here because he loves being Matt the Rat and spilling information to Suri. So he's like, can I do it? Can I do it? And Jag is like, whoa. I think we should keep that info in our back pockets for now. Because if we spill it too early, it's going to get back to Corey. Corey is not going to trust us anymore. And then we're not going to have America either. So Jag says, we don't need to overplay right now. Let's just hold on to that information. And he says, if Suri wins HOH or Blue wins HOH, then we let them know. Okay. So they also, I mean, yeah, you don't want to be spilling everything in your guts too early on. Also, they are prepping for the upcoming discussion with Blue, telling her about this vote. And they really want Corey to be the one doing all the talking because, again, they want it to seem like this is all Corey's plan and they're just going along with it, right? They want him to take the blame for all of this. So a little later, America, Corey, Matt, and Jag all meet with Blue in the have-not room. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I can't help it. in this meeting, they're trying to make it seem like they haven't already decided what they're going to do because they want Blue to feel like she's a part of the conversation, a part of this decision. But they've already decided at this point that they will be voting for Mimi to go. So Corey's like, "Are we considering flipping this vote?" And Blue's like, "No." Blue is campaigning for Mimi to stay. And she's saying, like, it might be better to have Mimi on our side. She is a stronger competitor. And then our team, we can just boot her whenever. And it could be soon. Like, we don't have to keep her around forever. We don't have to drag her along. But we don't want to get rid of her this week, right? So, yeah. Long story short, during this conversation, Blue was trying to push pretty hard for Mimi to stay. And this just makes Jag, Matt, Corey, and America want Mimi out even more because they figure, like, whoa, what we were thinking is true. Blue and Mimi are definitely working together. And I would say, like, they're not super, super tight. Have they been talking more game lately? Yes. Did Mimi pick Blue to play in the Power Veto competition? Yes. But it's not like they're some super tight duo. But while that conversation was happening, Cameron was filling Bowie in on the situation and telling her, hey, we're letting Corey think that he convinced us to make this move and get rid of Mimi, but we're really doing it because we think it's going to backfire on Corey and it's going to be amazing. So Bowie seems into it. She's on board. What is she not? Right? She's not making a lot of decisions on her own. But anyway, then the feeds go down for a bit while the house guests are shown images to study for the next HOH competition. So when the feeds come back, everyone's studying. They're talking about these like photoshopped images of the house guests that they saw. I think it's all the evicted house guests. And that's always fun. I love seeing those. But we have a lot of people studying together. And Matt is pissed that people are studying with Blue and sharing information with her, right? Matt does not want Blue to win HOH. So he was upset about that. But Blue, speaking of, Blue continues to dig a deeper hole for herself. She's all like, I'm going to work some magic, meaning to keep Mimi. So she's talking to Matt, and Blue is trying to use the power of Suri to compel Matt to keep Mimi. She's like, I don't know. I think Felicia is going to be bad for Suri's game. I think that Suri is going to have a better chance, with Mimi here. Matt wants to protect his BB mommy. But also, Blue is saying if Mimi does stay and she wins HOH, I think I could talk to her a bit more, get a bit closer to her, and maybe I can influence her not to target you or Jag. So then she's also campaigning to Cameron and pushing that Mimi is a stronger competitor, so she would be good to have on their team. And she's telling Cameron, if Mimi wins HOH, she can put up Corey in America. She might put up Corey in America. I'm not hearing will. I'm hearing that it's like a possibility, but like, would she though? So there's not too much there. Meanwhile, Suri lets Mimi know, hey, you should probably go talk to people because something is off here. Something seems to have shifted. Yeah, Mimi, get it together, girl. I mean, she's been making the rounds for sure the last day or so, but she's really giving nothing in her campaigning. She's just like, I'm straight up. I'm honest, blah, blah, blah. I don't do all the bullshit running around. Yeah, but you also don't like talk game with people. It's all very surface level, right? So Mimi starts making the rounds again. She talks to Jag, and Jag admits the vote is up in the air right now. Ugh. He says people have been weighing the pros and cons about the vote. So Mimi wants to know, what are the cons about keeping me? Jag says, well, people don't really know where you stand at this point, right? So Mimi's like, all right, fine. I'm going to tell you, if I win HOH, you're good. You don't have to worry. And she finally says that if she wins HOH, she would be targeting Cameron. It made me laugh though, because she was kind of like, isn't it obvious? No, no one knows what you would be doing. It should be obvious that people would want to target Cameron, right? But a lot of people aren't. So Mimi says she would either put up Cameron and Bowie, or if she wanted to go the backdoor route, she would put up Bowie and Suri and then backdoor Cameron. Sari? I don't know that I see her putting Sari on the block. I think that might have just been BS. But Mimi is also making the argument to Jag that she is a stronger competitor than Felicia and she can help keep Jag safe. That's great, but like this is just too little too late, right? She has waited this whole time to really talk game with people. So yeah, Mimi's making her rounds. Blue is also continuing to campaign for Mimi, pushing for Felicia to go. And she's telling both Matt and Jag, if we take out Mimi, we're just doing Corey's dirty work, right? She knows they don't like that. This is something that she's pushed for weeks. With the whole Jared thing, you're doing Corey's dirty work. He wouldn't have done it without you. So anyway, the house guests take a break from the game for a little while to celebrate Barry's birthday. And they have a nice dinner. I think it was breakfast for dinner, which honestly I could absolutely get down with. I freaking love breakfast for dinner. And then they had a cake prepared by, I think it was Felicia and Sari. So that's fun. And then it was time to get back to the game. Corey is getting a little bit peeved because he can tell that this whole flip is getting pinned on him. And he doesn't like that, right? He doesn't want to be taking all of the blame for this. I think at one point he was even telling Matt and Jag, like, hey, could you kind of like make your opinions known some more? So this is not all on me. Also, when Mimi got around to talking to him, he's telling Mimi, I'm not leading the charge on the vote this week. I don't control this. Okay. And he's like, I'm not in any position to die on any hill this week, either way. So I'm going to go with what everyone else wants this week. And he's saying that the vote will probably flip back and forth like 5 more times before they get to it. So Mimi's like, oh, wait, so it did flip? Yikes. And Corey's like, no, what? It's up in the air. So bottom line, again, it's just too little too late at this point for Mimi. Her big mistake here, she really wanted to avoid getting caught up in lies and like having to keep all that straight. She didn't want her name like being dragged through the mud, all that. By doing that, she never really started playing the game, right? She never had game talks with people outside of the Brown Sugar Babes, and that alliance isn't really doing great anymore. So yeah, Mimi, honestly, as lovely as a person I think she is in the real world, I am definitely disappointed by her gameplay this season because I expected a lot more from her, but now I just feel like a disappointed parent. So anyway, today, Corey in America let Felicia know that she's going to be staying. And of course, she's happy about that. They also spilled to Felicia, just so you know, Blue was campaigning hard for Mimi to stay. Ooh, okay. So definitely try to put the target on Blue if Felicia wins the HOH. But yeah, as of now, looks like Mimi is going to be going. It's most likely going to be a unanimous vote, and she will be the last pre-juror. So we've got the HOH competition tonight, and it should be a quiz based on the photos that were shown to the house guests. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not sure who out of everybody has the best grasp on all the pictures. Hi.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
I didn't get the last one.
Okay. I know Matt has been saying that he's got a photographic memory and that he feels really confident. He wasn't like studying as much. So we'll see. I don't know. He's saying he's got a photographic memory, but
Who do you want
who
to
knows?
win HOH?
Oof, that's a tough question. Who do I want to win HOH? Well, I guess it depends. Who do we want to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do we want to go? Cameron.
I
know you don't want Cameron to go. Cameron definitely keeps things interesting, right? Having that opposition in the house. Part of me would want Matt or Jag to win HOH so that they have to show their cards a little bit. I think it's interesting because I think not long before the feeds were going down, Matt was saying that he wants to target Cameron next week, which I don't know that Jag's on board with that because Jag is super nervous that once Cameron is gone, the targets on Matt and Jag are going to get so much bigger. So it's going to be interesting to see what would happen if Matt were to win HOH, but Matt is not feeling Cameron right now.
I want to see Bowie Jane forced to win
Oh my god. I think Bowie's head would explode if she won HOH because she'd just
by
be like,
default.
yeah, she'd be like, I'm gonna do what the house wants. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway.
That's what I want. Or Jed.
Okay. So I want to thank today's super chatters because we really appreciate you guys. So, Banana Fam, that's a fun name. Thank you so much for the super chat. Wendy Will, thank you so much, as always. Over Here We Craft, love that name. I always say that. Thank you so much for your updates. There are times I skip watching the actual episode on CBS because your take on everything is better. Much love to you and Janet. Oh, that is like the biggest compliment when you guys say that. That means a lot to us. Thank you so much again. Benjamin, thank you so much. Benjamin says, I'm worried because the feeds left off Blue campaigning to Jag that Felicia should go. Hopefully he doesn't change his mind. I mean, she's still pushing, right? She's still working it. She's still trying to get Mimi to stay. But I feel like at this point, the flip has flipped, you know?
No flops.
You never know. It could become a flop, but I feel like they've gone so far with it already that it would be crazy to flip it again at this point. So we'll see what happens. Phil D, thank you so much. Phil says, thanks for all your work this season. BB Comic Predictions. Oh, thank you for watching this season. And thank you for the super chat. My BB Comic Predictions. That's a good question.
Jared the Exterminator.
Yeah. What are people's like traits that they would really home in on?
Felicia and that cackle.
The cackler.
Yes.
That would be a lot of fun. Do you think America's is just going to be something patriotic?
Yeah.
Corey, I don't know, booger picker, booger eater.
Gameplay.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I'm not really sure. I'd have to really think about that. That's a good question.
Cameron is Space Cowboy.
Yeah, Space Cowboy. Let me know in the comments, if you guys are watching this later too, what you think people's comics are going to be.
Dr. Heisem.
Yeah.
But they don't know that.
No. I'm trying to think. Did he reveal that before he left?
He only said that he was a nurse.
Yeah, I can't remember if he revealed that before he left. I don't think he did, right?
I don't think so.
No. Maybe he was just thinking like maybe he was going to come back, so he didn't want to share that with people. But anyway, comics should be coming up soon. They're getting to that point in the game, so I'm excited to see them. But thank you all so much for being here. We will be on the washing machine for America. Blah.
Yeah,
no,
that's a good one.
That is a good one though. Thank you all so much for being here. We will be back tonight for the episode chats, and should be fun. I can't wait to see who wins this HOH. So thank you all so much for watching, and until later, much love. Bye everybody. Bye. Bye.